morning, evening, wherever you may be. My name is Zachary Daniels, and I am in the final leg of the DBA program at Alliance International. For this particular paper, I am focusing on the ethnographic research study to examine marketing strategies that would increase student enrollment in private colleges in the United States. In this particular study, we will cover the introduction, literature review, research questions, hypothesis, data collection, analysis, discussion, and conclusion. Short background as to why this is important to me. I currently teach at a university in Massachusetts, and over the past couple of years, we have had issues with obtaining enrollment, and we're not the only institution that has this, but in the near future, anticipated in 2026, birth rates have regressed at alarming rates since the 2008 recession. As a result, universities are going to be competing for a reduced pool of potential applicants. This particular issue has been going on, as I mentioned, for a few years now, but it's only going to get worse. So this study reviews how universities may improve their enrollment rates by creating curated marketing campaigns to engage students personally through the customer journey experience. The purpose of this ethnographic research study is to examine marketing strategies that would increase student enrollment in private universities in the United States, specifically looking at the university that I teach at currently. This particular study is going to utilize quantitative research methods using surveys per methodology created by Spajak and Co. In 2020. In their particular study out of Slovenia, they actually looked at the customer journey map for particular students trying to attend an engineering university. It was a very initial study that they went through, where they actually only followed one particular student throughout the whole process. But it was a great jumping off point that I hope to build off of for this particular study. The study will explore the most effective marketing opportunities for universities to increase student enrollment, how curated customer journey impacts female and male student applicants differently, what increase in student enrollment can be anticipated from implementing a curated customer journey map. And the study will be of value to marketers as it will guide what marketing tactics offer the greatest ROMI. The study will analyze the different conversions for universities when they use generic marketing instead of the suggested curated marketing campaigns that we will go through in regards to this particular study. I do apologize if I speak too fast. I may have had too much coffee today. So why exactly does this particular issue matter? So as I alluded to earlier, birth rates are trending down. We're going to hit the high in 2026. Just this week, we just had evidence that 2020 is going to be the lowest birth rates that we've had since 1978. So this particular issue is not going away. It's only going to get worse at the rate we're going. Economists have been thinking that it will get better, but it has not gotten better for some time now. So institutions that are going to actually figure out how to improve upon their marketing is probably going to help them in regards to staying competitive and actually keeping their doors open going forward. The purpose of this particular study is to examine marketing strategies that would increase the student enrollment in private colleges in the United States. You'll note that I am not looking at elite colleges, the Harvards, the Yales of the world. They are not going to have issues with enrollment going forward. There's going to be steady competition. This particular study is focused more so on the small, medium, and slightly larger universities. There's going to be different variables in play for both institutions, and for this, we are just focusing on the ones that actually need help going forward. In regards to the literature review, the current literature and research highlights a disconnect between how universities should view themselves as a service that requires marketing instead of society's duty that consumers seek out viable institutions. So essentially, at this particular juncture, many universities and colleges are under the mindset that if we build it, they will come. And the reality of what's happened since 2000 at the advent of our smartphones is consumers want a curated, personalized marketing campaign, and they want everything customized to them, and universities are not at that level at this particular time. This distinction presents challenges to academia as the volume of possible enrollees will continue to decline for most universities, except for the elite colleges. Factors influencing decision to choose higher ed institution. So to attract students, universities can utilize push or pull marketing tactics by determining which is more viable. These tactics determine if the proper response from the student will be registered. Pull motivational items such as clean and safe environment, affordable tuition, education facilities are the three highest rated items by students. The research highlights variables that institutions can control, which if they choose can be modified to cater to the needs of the student. In regards to pull motivational items, universities are contending with external forces such as elevated profile college rankings, rising tuition costs that focus on attention on value and quality, and changing student expectations driven by rapid technological advances. Combining those mentioned above provides a direction for institutions to improve their opportunities for achieving enrollment targets. Additional factors, universities have the opportunity to acknowledge how the student prefers to be marketed to and what triggers will result in desired outcome of enrollment. Students that deliver personalized, relevant, and compelling digital experiences to their students are the ones that will command attention, gain market share, and drive results. That's from the FAR study in 2018. Understanding what the student desires from the customer journey allows institutions to utilize the marketing budgets more effectively and achieve target enrollment quotas. This personalization expectation continues once the student enrolls, as the student seeks satisfaction in the consumption of the university experience. So essentially what we're looking for at this particular juncture is many students feel like they are getting a bait and switch situation where it seems very welcoming, but as soon as the college signs a check from the student, then they feel like they're just another number. So the goal from the literature review is to determine how do we make it so you don't feel like just another number throughout your whole experience at the university, so you don't drop off after your freshman or sophomore or junior year. The unique value proposition needs to be presented so that the student feels confident in performing well while yet being challenged approximately. This component can hamper university success if the two variables above do not align with each other. The university needs to understand the tipping point of expectations for the student and institution. Essentially, if we try to be too easy of an institution, we're going to dilute the value of our education, and that's going to dilute the overall brand of the university. So finding that happy medium of appropriate challenging and expectations and what they're actually learning is quite important for us. Gender factors into this as well. So as institutions focus on their students' customer journey, significant research highlights that males and females have different expectations driving their university decision. Furthermore, parents are also as likely as students to initiate the college choice decisions and are more likely to be initiators than teachers, counselors, and friends. And that's from the Mansfield and Warwick study in 2006. This vital component highlights that parents are pivotal in the decision process and have specific wants and needs for their child's educational experience. This component allows for institutions the opportunity to fulfill students' expectations as well as the parents' expectations before enrolling in the university. The challenge is understanding what the disconnect between the university expectations, student, parent, thus creating a culture at the institution that caters to all involved, creating a formidable challenge for the individual based on their wants and needs. Regarding the respective gender, the respective parties need to understand how the perceived risk is analyzed. Regarding the genders, each has a different risk tolerance of financial, physical, functional, social, and psychological attributes of selecting a university. The value of understanding where a student aligns with each respective risk allows the university to curate the customer journey more effectively per the student's needs. This personalized, relevant, and compelling customer journey curation presents a service to education in a familiar way with the student via curated advertising. The likelihood of successfully attracting students aligns with understanding the cultural norms of the generation and expectations of brands in general. The primary difference between the current marketing towards students is that universities are focused on internal brand, where the brand message is chosen by the university administrators and communicated primarily through mass media advertising. The aforementioned fails to acknowledge that the campaign's focus is addressed towards unique individuals who expect brands to know a great deal about them, resulting in personalized campaigns. On account of the impending population decrease of viable students, it is valuable to analyze how to compensate for this by determining if attracting international students could help ease the enrollment issues for universities. The challenge with focusing on international students is that each country culture presents unique challenges for the university to research. Chinese students were more likely to be influenced by 10 significant items compared to other students, such as teachers' opinions, a recommendation from a teacher in the home country, high school personnel opinion, recommendations from professors in the local country, alumni, correspondence with faculty, and recruiting agencies. These attributes vary per country focused on, and it would be of value to create a short list of desired countries to focus on per university. This strategy would allow the institution to utilize the appropriate tactics per the culture's context, ultimately providing the highest chance of viability for success for the institution. Creating additional verticals for institution by focusing on international students can complement feasible tactics for marketing towards first-generation students. Compared to the aforementioned Chinese students, international students, in a broader sense, seek to secure professional jobs with high income and status in society, which is different with common critiques on first-generation students as less motivated from the Cuddy 2014 study. This unique variable would allow universities to focus more on net outcomes from the educational experience instead of the institution's proper customer journey and student journey. Building upon those, as mentioned earlier, it would allow the institution to create more curated campaigns per the sought-after demographics, desires, needs that we're focusing on. Going into the customer journey mapping. In the hyper-personalized marketplace of social media platforms, many consumers acknowledge that they share private data being tracked digitally, yet they are receiving an optimal user experience. Thus, they expect this level of curation in most aspects of their lives. Universities can achieve this by focusing on creating content-rich branding, which allows the institution to generate marketing campaigns that align with prospective students' expectations. The strategy presents challenges to the institution's administration. It removes the ability to mass market to students and creates the necessity for researching a more significant amount about their targeted segments. A more resource-rich student requires less supervision and has greater independence and confidence, resulting in a student that is more successful. Highlighting that, although curated campaigns to students require additional effort on behalf of the university, it shows that the result attracts students that are well-suited for the specific institution, ideally saving money for the university and having a higher retention rate as opposed to the mass marketing strategy. All right, the challenge of customer journey mapping in the academic sense is that institution needs to account for internal and external factors during the journey. Regarding a generic business to consumer customer journey, the business can control the vast majority of interactions aside from word of mouth. However, in the academic customer journey, the marketing must account for variables such as high school counselors, local government websites, outside recruiters, and social media. The variables mentioned above can be detrimental to the student's customer journey success. For universities looking to maximize their marketing, generating an accurate representation of the customer journey can amplify the institution's marketing efforts. In that case, the institution can create proactive strategies to foster a complete customer journey for the student. Institutions can learn more about their target demographics' unique variables, the more likely the university can create a curated customer journey for each particular student. Right. In regards to the research questions, so what are the most effective marketing opportunities for universities in the United States to increase student enrollment? How do gender and ethnic background impact students' response to a curated customer journey? What % increase can a curated customer journey map add to university enrollment? Which is aligned with our hypothesis. In regards to the most effective marketing tactic, it is evident that universities that deliver personalized and relevant, compelling digital experiences are the ones that can command the most attention and market share. It is anticipated that curated marketing, which is anticipated from consumers in their normal marketing dealings would also be well received from students. This adjustment is due from the normal business to consumer interactions of the prototypical brand, such as Hershey's or Ford, for example. The second is female enrollment will respond better to curated customer journey marketing than male enrollment increasing. As mentioned in the aforementioned slides, the cultural norm further suggests that parents are more likely to be involved with daughters as opposed to sons in regards to selecting a university. It is anticipated that both genders will respond well to curated customer journey marketing, but females will respond at a higher rate. And finally, the curated customer journey marketing will increase enrollment by 10% compared to mass marketing strategies. It is difficult to accurately anticipate the growth in enrollment on account of a curated customer journey, yet based on the success of consumer brands and B2C market, an increase is reasonable to expect. A more resource-rich student requires less supervision, greater independence, and confidence, which will result in a student that is more successful maintaining enrollment at the university. In regards to the actual data collection, data is going to be collected limited to one cohort of first-year students. We're going to start with the whole class size and suspect that only about 100 students are actually going to complete and participate throughout the whole process of data collection. The study will have 4 surveys administered over 6 months. This longitudinal study will provide a constant representation of the students' population that is anticipated to highlight the positives and negatives from a university's ongoing marketing to students. The 4 surveys will be administered via the student university emails at predetermined timeframes. These timeframes are going to be immediately after the contractual commitment to the university, the week before fall semester starts, the week after midterms, and the week after registration for a spring semester. The participants will be coded per age, gender, ethnic background, and anticipated major, so they can be categorized properly. The data coding will allow for quantitative data analysis to find what standard variables are being analyzed, such as frequency, mean, median, and range of participants. An inferential analysis will determine the correlation between the variables mentioned above and the anticipated outcomes based on the marketing tactics. These findings will then be cross-referenced with the content analysis of the participants' survey open-ended responses. On account of the limited time to create the study, capture data, only one survey has been administered at this particular juncture. The one survey participant completed survey 1, which is located in the hard copy. The preliminary findings are not of value at this particular point, in my opinion, as they represent only one student. This is very similar to what happened with the initial study that I am replicating to a degree. I was hoping to replicate with a larger volume, but was not able to do at this particular juncture. The student was amicable in their responses and did not elicit any unanticipated data that may change the trajectory of the proposed study. As such, it can be determined that the current survey can serve as a preliminary benchmark for future proposed research related to this topic. The data will be analyzed utilizing multiple regression, but utilizing continued enrollment as a dependent variable. The variables associated with each touch point in the student journey map. And the aforementioned will be completed using SPSS. The study as designed is a foundational effort for determining the best method of increasing enrollment for universities. The study is not a long-term solution, as the rate of digital marketing is expanding at unprecedented rates, and it would be logical to anticipate that the needs and wants of students will vary as time continues. This study provides a starting point for a conversation that would be fluid for future academic marketers at university. And in conclusion, universities need to acknowledge that the pool of viable candidates will shrink significantly by 2026 and prepare proactive marketing strategies instead of relying on legacy marketing strategies. The study looks at the viability of one specific marketing tactic, curated customer journey maps. While it is a successful tactic for specific businesses, it has not been accepted as feasible for academia, primarily on account of staffing and budget issues. The issue stems from creating curated customer journey maps for most of the student touch points with the institution. The bandwidth of the average university marketing department may not handle the anticipated customization. Yet if marketing for university does not adjust per the consumer's needs, the university may suffer unsustainably low enrollment rates and have to close their doors. In regards to the value for practitioners, it's going to allow us to utilize the findings to determine how expensive, involved, and successful they can anticipate the curated customer journey implementation for a prospective student population. While the study does not focus on monetary costs, it does highlight how many touch points would be needed to be adjusted and suggest how many different variations may be created. These two variables will provide a guideline for how much the curated strategy may be created for the university. An expectation of a 10% increase in enrollment highlights the net value of the potential campaign's short and long-term success. The study's expected significance helps university marketers understand marketing as a university is similar to other business-to-consumer marketing tactics and appreciate that the consumer in both scenarios expects personalized marketing from the brand to attract their attention. My references. That's what I have for this particular study. I appreciate your time. If you have any questions, feel free to